Hello, my name is Glenn Keller,
I'm Dimple.
and welcome to our greatest strength. So, our guest today is Iryna Dettmer, who works with me at Country More Cooperative. She's got a lot of titles, but let's just say she keeps the office running and keeps us pretty much in line. Um, Iryna is originally from Ukraine, and so we're excited to hear about her story today. So, can you talk a little bit about how we know each other, Iryna?
Sure. First of all, hello everyone, and thank you for having me. I met Glenn at Country Mark. We've been working together for I'm not sure how many years, Glenn.
Almost
It's
eight.
8. Okay, 8. And it was great working experience so far. And I'm working in Country Mark around 10 years or so.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. Very excited to have you here. Thank you for agreeing to be with us, Iryna. So, our first question, can you tell us a little bit about your journey to the US?
Well, I came to United States in 2002. Met my husband, who is American citizen in Ukraine, and we've been dating for a couple of years. And after that, we got married, and I came to United States, and it was a fiancé visa, K1. The process was pretty simple. I would say it wasn't causing any troubles. Um, the only thing that I experienced the difficulties with is that I didn't speak any English. So there was a challenge. But as soon as I got to United States, I signed up for English second language classes and started the school immediately. And I think I started to speak English pretty well, probably on my second year living here. And of course, I think the job that I started pretty much after my arrival, maybe a couple months after, really helped me to learn English. That was a great experience. As I mentioned, visa process was good. Travel was great. Um, um, I came actually with my daughter, who was 10 years old, and it was a little bit of an interesting experience with that as well, because she did not speak any English, and we were able to sign up. She was in third grade, second grade, I think that time. She had to go back one grade lower because she didn't speak English. So she started the school and it was successful. Of course, she learned English faster than I did and started to help me in a short while. My first impression, I think I remember that first day like it was yesterday when I came to United States. It was all different. For some reason, the building structures, the streets, everything was different. I haven't traveled to United States before, so it was all very, very, very great learning experience for me. I think it was all pleasant and good.
I remember having a conversation with you about when you first got here and looking around at Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
You remember that conversation?
Yes.
So you want to talk about that for just a second?
Yes, it was in my memories, in my actually the picture I guess I got into my brain about United States. It's all high-rise buildings like New York. And when I got to United States, the Indianapolis, actually, the Indianapolis airport, and at that time we lived in Broad Ripple. My first couple days, I could not understand where I'm living. Like I could not understand, is this a village? Is that a town? Is that a mega city? I was so confused. So I was kind of blame on my husband's, like, where did who brought me to what is this all about? And like I told her many times, I pictured this tall buildings and different atmosphere around. And finally, he took me downtown Indianapolis and showed me downtown. It was quite experience. It's not what I expected to see for sure.
That's interesting. So do you feel pretty settled here now? Yes, no?
Oh yes, oh yes. It's been a long time. I feel I can't say that I feel like I'm totally at home,
Mhm.
because there still probably will be always some differences. But in my English, I always feel like I'm learning every day something new, and I will probably never gonna have this perfect English. But I I settled, yes,
Yeah.
and now it's the home of my children as well, and this is my country, and it's their country.
Right. Well, now you know what a boondoggle is too.
It's right, and I know a lot of good words from Glenn.
Okay, Dimple.
Well, I think your English is perfect. Perfection is subjective anyways, right? So, go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna just ask, as you know, as an immigrant, what's the most difficult part and best part about living in the US?
Hmm. I guess the first difficult part was the simplicity, communication between people. I felt like everything in the United States, it's really efficient and really uh, not as the simple way how I used to be in Ukraine. So, in example, you can really knock on somebody's door and say, "Hey, here I am. How are you doing?" You have to schedule everything, and you have to wait until people are really expecting you, and it takes time. So it's like I would call it simplicity. I don't know. Maybe somebody will disagree with me, but I feel like I miss that a lot from my
Mhm.
home country. And I think landscaping, probably the architecture also, that's what I missed as well. Um, the character that is in Europe, it's different. In United States, you see a lot of changes over time, and buildings are changing and new constructions are going on all the time, so you feel like it's always moving so fast and you like trying to catch up with that.
Mhm.
And again, there's a feeling like you are on a rush all the time too.
Yeah. Okay, Dimple.
So, what was your journey towards, you came on fiance visa, you said. So what was your journey like, immigration wise, towards green card, citizenship?
Yes, it
How
was
was that experience?
sure. I came on K1 visa and was allowed to stay in the country for 3 months
Mhm.
before it's either I married, or if I don't marry, I have to go home. And after 3 months period, you apply for a green card based on the marriage. That was, I would say it was simple process. Um, the only thing that I noticed at that time challenging, it was always the immigration office was always busy, 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 busy. So it was really hard to schedule an appointment, or waiting times were really exceedingly long. Um, After being in the United States over 5 years, I applied for citizenship and was learned, of course, that all the tests and take exam, and it was all successful, and I was so great for that. And I remember that day was really special for me. I had a lot of friends came over and we all celebrated.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
I'm sure it was. Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
So if someone were to ask you why they should travel to the US, what would you tell them?
Oh, now in this really difficult time, which is going on all over the world, with a lot of conflicts and disagreements, I would say the first one was always a freedom for me. Freedom of speech is definitely was the big one. I would say the other really, really big benefits living in this country is the freedom of business. And it's the way how it's done. I really was always impressed how it's all designed for people. If you willing to have a business, it's really encouraged by government. It's simple enough. And I think it's really great that you can not only can express yourself and start your own business and do something excited for yourself, but you can always do it for somebody else. And I always wanted to share this short stories. I think it tells a lot about United States. When I came to Starbucks coffee shop and I was ordering some drink for myself, and the barista said, "Well, I'm sorry, we don't have this kind." And here's the moment when it would stop there in many countries, including what my experience was in Russia or Ukraine, and they would say, "Sorry, we don't have that. Goodbye." Versus to United States, this person was going way beyond of all my expectations and named, I don't know, 20 different drinks and uh, other ingredients that got me so interested that I did not turn around and left without the drink. So I think it tells you about a lot about this country. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Glenn.
no, yeah, I was gonna say I think so, and I've heard similar things from people from Europe, especially before, that a lot of places the level of service is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yes. Another thing, a big item for me, of course, it's safety, because it's not only safety for me, it's for my children. And I think this is huge. It's huge for families to live and living in your own house and you're protected. I know, of course, I'm not going to name the addresses for these people, but a lot of people saying, "I don't know, even have a key for my from my front door."
Yeah,
That's how safe they feel.
yeah,
Name me there that many countries in the world where people don't have a front door key
yeah.
and living like that many, many years. I think it's also tells you something about that. Um, and of course, I would say the health, um, medicine and healthcare in this country. I have been really pleased with everything that myself and my family received so far. I came to United States. My daughter was not healthy, and we had to have surgeries. And I can't tell thank you enough for all these doctors and staff and everybody who was involved in this surgeries and taking care of my daughter. Was great experience that I never gonna forget compared to what I had experienced in my country.
Well, cool. That's a really interesting. Those are amazing stories. So Dimple, do you want to take the bonus question, and then I've got a special question for Iryna after that.
So, Iryna, do you feel like immigrants from other regions of the world are treated differently? And if so, how?
Well, I think probably yes, more than no. And I always think about this, why? I think there is many different factors playing in this. I think it's factors like the country and race and ethnicity, probably immigration status as well. I would say I did experience that on myself as well a little bit when I had to sign up my daughter who did not speak English. The first year, I tried to sign her up for summer classes and I couldn't do it. They all were full with other immigrants and children from immigrants. And of course, we had a conversation with teachers and they said, well, at least your daughter can speak a little bit of English, which I would really disagree. I think she needed as much help as others, but they were saying these children are not speaking a word. So they were taken over. So that kind of in some moments I felt like my daughter was cheated on that because she really needed at that time. So in another way, I would say, yes, there's some little things sometimes bothers me as an immigrant because there's so many different nationalities so living in the United States, and I feel like sometimes there's not equality is not there for everybody.
Well, thank you for your honest answer. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's interesting. So, so tell a story about Iryna and some things we do. So a few years ago, I got this bright idea that Country Mark should have a Christmas tree at something called the Festival of Trees. It's in downtown Indianapolis during the holiday seasons at the Indiana Historical Society. And I had this bright idea, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to decorate this tree, and then maybe I'll get some people to help me decorate it, and maybe they'll give me a few ideas, right? And and I'll tweak my idea, or whatever. I mean, is that how it actually went down, Iryna?
Yes.
No, it didn't.
Well, I can't wait to hear the whole story.
I feel like I took over it from Leah right now.
You did. I'm sure it turned out better.
Yeah, well, and the truth is because so we have a kind of committee that talks about it, but in the end, Iryna usually makes most of the decisions. So it's kind of gotten to the point of let's go talk to Iryna and see what she wants to do, because and I'll tell you, we've been doing it what 6 years, 7, something like that, 6 maybe.
Yeah,
And the people at the museum always
7.
tell us that your trees are so beautiful.
Wow.
So and I'm really happy to work with her on that. It's real, it's absolutely great marketing and PR for Country Mark, and it's something for people to enjoy. And just putting a plug, if you ever need a Christmas tree decorated, I think Iryna is your person.
Yay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I love it.
So is there
love doing that.
anything you can think of that you might want to say, Iryna?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to express my well, share with you all my experience, because it's not very often you can talk about it. And now I'm going through the whole process with my sister who came to United States 2 years ago on a protective program for Ukrainians to escape the war. And I ran into some difficulties and challenges again with immigration process or difficulties with communications and etc. So I would really recommend anyone who consider come to United States, first of all, do it. Do not be afraid. People who live in United States are great and they can help you with anything you wish for. I mean, it's literally people are so supportive because it's the country of immigrants in the big picture. And I personally always have really, really good experience with people. And the second one, when I immigrated in 2002, the technology were not there. Not like now you have Facebook, Instagram, and etc. You can share some ideas, some questions. So right now I see how technology took to all this process to next level where people sharing their experience, they looking for some help and looking for some jobs and talking to each other versus to like you being alone in this country and of strangers and you don't know where to start. I think that's just always try to consider there's some sources for that. And of course, if you need any help with to start the life here, there is a different organizations who can help. And again, local groups who can give you advice. And I would say, do not afraid. Immigration is difficult. Don't think it's that easy, simple, but I think at the end it's great and it pays off.
Good.
Yeah.
Dimple, do you have anything else? Or
Well, no, except that thank you so much, Iryna. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for honestly sharing your thoughts. I couldn't agree more. I think this is a wonderful country. I think people here are wonderful. They're awesome. All you have to do is just share your story, like we are trying to do here, bringing in guests, and like you so generously share yours. So thank you for your time, and thank you to our viewers for listening, and keep sending your guests our way. We'd love to hear your stories.
yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Iryna, and thank you to everybody for watching. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.